Hey boys and girls, I have made probably my biggest purchase, I guess, for Halloween stuff this year. It probably will just be my biggest. I don't plan on really buying too much more stuff. I do have a couple, like I mentioned in the past, I have a couple more things coming in the mail, but biggest in the amount, I guess, not in the price. Um, Basically, my spirit store finally opened today, so I was able to pick up some items I've been looking forward to. I got all that. These were the two skeletons that I was really looking forward to picking up. They are very, I mean, I guess for $50, they're pretty decent. They're very, very light, which can be a good thing or bad thing, I guess, depending on what you're planning on using them for. But for me, they're going to be going on the rebar area. Have rebar stabbed through them at different parts, just to kind of make them look like they've been dropped on top of like a spike pit, I guess. They are, sorry, filming the seal in there. I'm going to bloody him up a little bit. I'm not going to fully corpse him right now, but just because I kind of want to do, I figure I'll do just 1 year of them as skeletons, and then next year will sort of be more of maybe as a corpse or something, but I'm just going to paint on a nice coat of a blood to them. And they're fully jointed. I mean, they're jointed at the feet and the knees. They swivel at the hips. Arms are all jointed in the hands, and the jaw and the head move. I thought they were going to be a little bit more like I don't know, industrial constructed, like a little bit more screws and some thicker joint attachments. But for $50, I mean, plus my discount, they weren't that bad. I mean, I do like them better than over the last, I don't know, 5-10 years. A lot of stores that have had nicer, complete skeletons like that have either been like just the rubber kind that you can obviously tell it's made of rubber when the head is all squished in and the arms are bent up in funky shapes. So I do like those, and since they're light, I was thinking of maybe getting a couple more and then kind of have them hanging from the side of like a tree or hanging from the side of the house, like actually look like they're grabbed on and hanging, because I think they should be really easy to pose with some fishing line and stuff. And I picked up these vinyl skulls. They're like $7, and they're hollow, which is cool. The eyes aren't hollowed out on them, but I figure that'd be pretty easy to obviously just drill out the eyes if I wanted to. But they're nicely made. I mean, they're nice and thick, and the jaws obviously are hinged. So I grabbed as many of those as I could. You can never go wrong with having some decent looking skulls. They're a little on the small side. They're a little bit smaller than the skulls. Here you can see for comparison. A little bit smaller than the 5-foot skeleton skulls, but it's okay because I have quite the variety of size skulls now, and different looks and textures and everything. So, but yeah, I like those. And then I grab, every year I buy one more bag of bones. I want to say that I probably have purchased 10 bags of bones so far, and I just, I basically normally just scatter them around in different areas and create little piles. I'm going to try to put together a full body in a shallow grave with those type of bones, poking up out of the ground. I'm going to actually dig a nice little pit, maybe about a foot or so deep, and then have my grave digger zombie guy standing over it, along with my little bone collector guy with a bucket full of more bones and stuff, just to give it a little bit more of a dignified scene that like he's, they're actually pulling the bones out of the ground. Most of the time I just have it sitting on a bench with a bucket of bones, and you kind of have to put two and two together, like, oh, graveyard, he has some bones, maybe he's been going through and digging up some graves. I'm going to put some fresh body parts also in his bucket and on the bench this year to kind of even it out. It's not going to only find old corpses. He needs some fresh ones too. Then I picked up a couple things I wasn't sure if I was going to grab or not, but Because of my whole barbed wire rebar scene, I figured this, head would fit in nicely. I'm going to bloody him up a little bit more just in his little wounds that he has. And yeah, and he'll just be good to go. I'm going to have I'm going to have the two big skeletons and the two little skeletons displayed in that scene. And I just didn't have, and that skull with like the hair, and I didn't have any actual like fleshy, like a still living kind of, or not still living, obviously, closer to have just been killed, freshly dead. There we go. So I didn't have any freshly dead body parts or props for that scene. So, one head in there will be nice, and maybe I'll throw in. I don't think I really have anything else that will fit. I could wrap, I guess, some barbed wire around another arm or something like that, just to kind of. I'm all about balance. I can't just have one. I can't have like 5 skeletons and then one freshly dead head. So I'll have to throw in a leg or something wrapped up in some barbed wire in there too. And then this guy, recently, the last week, I've been putting together a scene in my mind that he's going to go in, and a couple other guys. Just torso with his arm ripped off. He's supposed to hang from his tongue, but he's just a foam-filled, latex. And the tongue doesn't have really any extra support to it. And basically he had a little black string that came off the tongue. And I can't see it lasting more than a day hanging up like that. So I think I'm going to hang a fishing line around his neck. So you can't see that he's hanging by that. And then do a chain just tight enough where it looks like he's hanging from his tongue, but I'm not going to, risk it and have his tongue rip out of his mouth just in a little bit of breeze. And I'm going to do the same thing. He's fairly bloody, but I just would imagine a dude that has his arms ripped off and no midsection or legs to be a little bit bloodier, so he's going to get a little nastied up and having some blood run out of his mouth, probably. Because if you're hanging from your tongue, there's going to be some rippage, obviously. Speaking of blood, picked up one more bottle of fake blood. I think I still have a quarter bottle left from last year, but that should be plenty. Even, I got 4 skeletons I want to, smear some blood on, 2 new pumpkins. I know I've kind of mentioned shown before, every pumpkin I have that goes on the rebar on the scarecrow side gets bloodied up like that. Just some drips, that he actually hangs like that, so the drips go down like that, obviously. So I got him and the fat guy over there that I need to just put a few drips of blood on, and get a little bit of blood on them. And I'm going to put a little bit of blood on the new zombie over there, just in his hair and a couple of his wounds on his face, just, so it's very fresh looking on Halloween night. What else did I get? Oh, and I got one thing. I got a light bulb, which I think I paid a little bit much for it. I definitely would say that it's a little overpriced at this price, but it was $12, and I normally have hated on this type of like strobe light, because basically you have strobe lights and you have lights that blink or flash, and I hate it when it says, strobe light, and people go, oh great, and then they get it home or whatever, and if they don't know, it's like, okay, that kind of sucked. But for what I'm going to use this for, I'll just turn it on and show you real quick. It's one of these, just a screw-in bulb like that, that just flashes. But my light out by the street, the porch light, or not the porch light, the old-style street lamp, is going to have that bulb in it. You can see it, flashing behind me. And I'm going to wrap some spider webs in it, maybe put a couple bones in the spider webs or something, and if I have enough barbed wire, I was actually going to try to stretch the barbed wire all the way from the rebar scene all the way out to that pole and just wrap it around. We'll see just what I have, to work with. But I figured that would be creepier than just having a colored bulb out there like I've had over the years, sort of like a shorted circuit, out by the street, and hopefully, draw people in down from the end of the block. But that's about it, and I will talk to you guys later. Halloween, it's all over my room and bed at my old house. Well, my parents' house. My old room. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Peace.